A-Frame is a popular False Bay shore dive site as it's easily accessible and yet provides a good variety of marine life. Warmer than usual water on this dive, 17 to 18 degrees Celsius as opposed to the more common 13 to 14 degrees, meant that the fish were out and about in numbers. This allowed me to video many different species covering about all the more common and some less common ones that can be found in the area. The most common and prolific fish seen about everywhere are Hottentots, which for some time now have been congregating in numbers, often bunching themselves up into small balls, possibly for some sort of mating ritual. The larger, darker fish seen floating vertically I assume are males. They are surrounded by the smaller, paler fish, which I assume are likely to be females. Hottentots are generally not afraid of divers. They are easily approachable and will themselves often approach divers, as well as follow them in case they may kick up something to eat. The most colourful of our free-swimming fish is without a doubt the Roman. It is easy to identify given its bright red colour and pattern. The juvenile Roman looks largely similar to the adult, although their pattern is slightly different and changes as they grow bigger. Roman are territorial and they stay in more or less the same area of the reef all the time. If you keep still, they will approach divers with great curiosity, usually returning for multiple views and parading in front of your camera lens. Other more colourful fish include the redfingers with its distinct reddish and pale bars, and a butterfish or two-tone fingerfin with its row of white dots along a brown back. Both belong to the fingerfins and these are thus somewhat related. Redfingers and butterfish often rest on the reef propped up on the elongated rays of their pectoral fins, hence the name fingerfin, but they will swim away when approached. The zebra and blacktail or dassie are also related to each other, as can be seen by their very similar body shape. They do have very distinct and different patterns on their body though. They normally appear in small loose schools, often within schools of other fish. While they can be found within kelp forests, zebras especially seem to like sandy areas as well. Both zebras and blacktails are a bit shy and one has to remain quite still for them to stick around. Transmadam are often found in loose congregations close to Hottentot. They are easy to distinguish given their big eyes and brown markings. They are a bit less adventurous than Hottentot, but they do show some curiosity towards divers, especially if there are many fish around. Their juveniles are not commonly seen. They are similar to adults in shape, but with a much brighter reddish-brown color. They can be quite skittish. Another fish often seen with Hottentots is the judgejaw. They are easy to recognize however. Their body is more laterally compressed, and they sport that distinct downturned big mouth and pointed head. They stay more in the background, but may approach divers out of curiosity. Lately at A-Frame and other spots I've been seeing white stumpnose in very small loose groups. While they have dark vertical bars much like a zebra, they are quite different in their shape, and the width of the bars is much narrower, so they are easy to tell apart. Equally uncommon at A-Frame, but abundant further south at Pyramid Rock, is the Cape Knifejaw. It is a fast swimmer, but usually not that skittish. While the adults are mostly black, the juveniles are significantly different in that they are a bright yellow with 2 to 3 vertical black bars. They remain in caves and cracks, where they use their yellow color to advertise their cleaning services. The galjoen is superficially similar in shape to the Cape Knifejaw, especially if you look at the shape of the dorsal and ventral fins, but it has a much blunter head profile. While they are increasing in numbers, there are only a few at A-Frame, and they are usually very skittish. The streppy, with its distinct narrow yellow lines along the body, is the local fish that is most often found in dense, close schools. They will often descend as one to the reef to feed before swimming on. They are not very skittish and will keep coming back to the same area, often passing close to divers if they are not exhaling. In this particular school, a lone mouse bunker, normally also a species found in dense schools, decided to hide from predators by pretending to be a streppy. The super clipfish is the most common in the area and comes in many different colors and patterns. It is a member of a complex of similar species which are often hard to tell apart. They are usually found sitting on the bottom or on kelp. Here we can see a super clipfish on the right with the red fingers on the left. An example of a clipfish that is part of the super clipfish complex is the mosaic clipfish. How do you tell it apart from a super clipfish? It's subtle, but along the flanks the pattern resembles a row of Africa maps. We end with the most common little shark in our waters, the cute buffeather shy shark. It is small and completely harmless, and can be found resting on the bottom or sniffing around on the reef. They are easily approached. Now let's return to the opening clip of this video, where we can see many of the species mentioned all together. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video helps you in identifying Cape Town fish on your next dive.